Yes, good evening, Mr. Muguda. Good evening to everyone who is watching us. Habari yako baba, ama habari yako, ulisema inaitwa habari yako kaka?
Habari yako kaka, si baba.
Kaka, habari gani?
Niko salama kakangu, labda ya
Mhm.
kwako. Huku tuko na baridi na mvua. Ni
Ehe.
msimu wa mvua, msimu wa baridi.
Okay, sawa sawa. Huku paliniko ni tofauti kidogo. Sina ujuzi sana ya kusema, lakini kuna ile tuko na mvua pia tuko na baridi kiasi kiasi, lakini ni sawa. So weekend yako imekuwa aje?
Wikendi yangu imekuwa poa, labda ni vile timu yetu ya Uingereza, Manchester United,
Mm.
walitoka moja kwa moja na timu ya Ipswich.
Hiyo
Tulikuwa
unasema ni,
tunatarajia kushinda hiyo mechi, lakini asiyekubali kushindwa si mshindani. Hivyo ndio mechi ilitoka.
lakini si mara mingi huwa mnasema ati Man U ni timu kubwa, na hii sasa ikichapwa na hii timu ndogo inakuwaje?
Haikuchapwa, walitoka moja moja.
Hiyo ni sawa na kuchapwa.
Hiyo ni sawa na kuchapa kulingana na timu kubwa.
Timu ambayo iko na jina.
Hivyo ndio weekend ilikuwa, lakini pia unapata hata ile timu la Manchester City pia waligongwa 4-0.
Ye, niliona na ilinishangaza sana kuona timu kubwa ya Man City akiwa ikiongozwa na Pep Guardiola
Ya
anachapwa
Pep
hivyo.
Guardiola.
Na unajua huyo ameweka historia katika mpira ya miguu.
Huyo
Mhm.
ndio ameweka historia katika ligi ya Uingereza. Yeye ni
Eh,
yule anaitwa daktari.
eh.
Mm.
Lak-
Yeye ni
Sasa
fundi
kuna
mwenyewe.
fundi mwenyewe. By the way, I came to realize that in Kenya we have so many artists who are doing entertainment, and I came across this guy from Bungoma. He's singing. I think he's from Western. He sings the native language of, but he makes it. It is. I call it the Luya fusion, and he has made a song for Christmas, and the song is called If We Ingo. And If We Ingo, I tell you, uh, I because I can pick some few languages of from Western. That song is lit. So for those who are going to enjoy December holidays, especially if you're coming from Western, look, it's called that Black Tony, but I know the name of his song. Song is called If We Go. A very nice song from a young man. So if you're there, you can look on If We Go. He's a talented. I think he's from Bukusu, those sides of Bungoma. So that is there. So anything new from your side?
Bungoma is predominantly Bukusu. He
Yes.
is a Bukusu. And
Yeah.
if we Ingo,
Mhm.
Ingo means nyumbani.
Eh,
So it's directing people to go and celebrate Xmas at home. That
yes.
could be the context of that
May-
song.
Maybe. Yeah, so it's a very hype song. So if you're there, you can go and listen to our brother and say go celebrate Christmas back at home. So anything new from your side?
There are many artists in the country, the way you have said.
Yeah.
The bigger number are the upcoming artists
Mm-hmm.
who are not yet identified. We also saw someone by the name Steve O Simple Boy, who was
Huyo
at
ni
the
m- huyo ni
Citizen TV
mkongwe.
with Lulu Hassan. He was
Huyo ni
putting
mko-
on some attire of old radio. Did you saw that photo?
I saw them with Lulu Hassan.
The attire was the one which was very much interesting.
I've always said that Simple Boy, God gifted him with two things. One, Steve is a comedian by nature because he knows how to come up with these words that nobody, even me at my own time, I cannot process it so quickly and come up with something that can be very catchy. Freshy barida,
Welo
which
Welo,
Welo Welo,
Buda Buda,
Guda Guda, Umbwa Nyinyi, So God is
Kumbavu
as
City.
Kumbavu Sisi, all those that Steve O Simple Boys is gifted over there. Then also, Steve O Simple Boy also knows how to sing because he how the the way he um puts his lyrics, the vina, like vina, zile vitu vina, tuseme kwamba kwa Kiswahili tunaita mashairi. Anajua kuandika wimbo ambao iko na mtiririko wa shairi, unaona? So amebarikiwa hapo. So pia anafanya saa zingine huwa tukiwa na stress tunaweza kwenda kusikiza zile vituko za Steve O Simple Boy. So ni mzuri sana. So
Saa zingine unapata kama anasema ati huyu msichana ako na ngongingo.
yeah, nakumbuka kuna
Ngongingo kwake
wakati
ni nyash. Unajua huko West
eh,
Africa, Nigeria wanasema nyash. Na yeye anasema
eh,
ngongingo. So ako very
so
creative.
is very creative. So now we just want to go and do a recap of what happened during the weekend, especially when it comes to politics. There are so many things that happened. There was the comeback of Rigiji Mwenyewe, and there's hostility that also came from Mount Kenya, especially for those who are allied to the president and deputy president. So and this one puts us in the road of 2027 from the look of things. And I don't know what is your take on what happened, especially when the during the funeral of the nominated MCA in Muranga, where one of the leaders was trying to read the uh, deputy president message. Then the crowd stopped. Yeah, the crowd became wild. Then the governor had to hand over the speech for president without reading. There's also that happened to Moses Kuria before we come to the following day where we have the deputy president, a former deputy president or ex-deputy president was in a meeting. What do you what picture does it give you in terms of the politics of Mount Kenya?
Politics of Mount Kenya has drastically shifted. People no longer sing the UDA song. William Ruto is no longer a darling in Mount Kenya. So anybody who is associating himself with William Ruto, or anyone who is playing the politics of William Ruto in Mount Kenya, the ground must receive that person with hostility. And that is what happened. The allies of William Ruto, people like former CS Kuria, the person who was reading the speech of the Deputy President Kindiki, they received an hostile reception from the people because the people have viewed William Ruto as an enemy to the mountain because they have been betrayed in the process of UDA regime.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who is an ally to Rigathi Gachagua or anybody who is opposing the status quo is a darling to the people. That's why you saw Governor Irun Kangata took that speech and said to the audience that, let me hand over the speech to the family. We are not going to read this speech here. Let us give it to the family because it was intended to be delivered to the family. Let us give them their speech. The speech is not intended to the people on the ground. The speech is not intended to the Mount Kenya people. It's intended to the family of the deceased. Let us now hand over the speech to them. Kangata has just realigned himself with the current political alignment of that region. He is with the people. So you are either with the people or William Ruto. I think that is what is happening in the Mount Kenyan politics.
So when you look at um, especially the allies of the president are not given time, or they kind of like they receive that hostility, and especially those who are aligned to the former deputy president, especially the Moranga senator, actually was given the floor, and he was accorded quite a good chunk of time to speak, and he spoke. And in his speech, he went directly to attack the UDA, even including the presidency. And people were cheering. And what does it mean?
Joe Newton is playing to the gallery.
Yeah.
And Joe Newton must play to the gallery because remember, the likes of Joe Newton did not impeach former deputy president. They are trying to tell the people that that impeachment was unpopular,
Mhm.
and we are the people who never participated in that impeachment because of
Mhm.
his unpopularity. Now, for me, as Joe Newton, I'm confident because I have the people, and also I can attack the president. The president, the people of Mount Kenya no longer transact political business with you. We are here and we are speaking on behalf of the people. Remember, Joe Newton is going to defend his senatorial seat. So he
Mhm.
must align himself with the current political dynamics of that region because even Irun Kangata is going to defend his gubernatorial seat and Ndini Nyoro is going to defend its member of parliament seat in that order. So they have to speak the language of the people. They must play to the gallery.
Yep.
The moment they try to support the status quo, they are going to lose their popularity in their region. For their own sake, for their own political survival, they must align themselves with the current dynamics of the politics of Mount Kenya. Remember, even Ricky G was speaking in church
Yeah.
very confidently. He was very confident to an extent that he attacked Mr. President direct, and he exposed Mr. President that the people of Mount Kenya will not forgive you, and is ready to move to the mountain to campaign against Mr. Ruto. The
Mhm.
leaders who are within that region, like Joe Newton and the friends, they must align with the popular reasoning of the ground. Without that,
Yeah.
they are likely to be perceived as traitors, and Mount Kenya people are going to deal with the traitors once and for all concerning these 2027 elections.
Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Before we continue, let me take this opportunity to thank the following: Gibson Connor, thank you so much for joining. Brenda, thank you so much for voting. Judith, thank you so much also for joining. And we are here with my friend Miguda, and we are just looking at what happened during the weekend because the political temperature is rising. And again, also, what also we are here with um, is the conservatory order that has been given concerning the Bill Gates. There were some rights that were given to Kenya. Yeah. The High Court today gave a conservatory order. And actually, this case was brought to the courts by the Law Society of Kenya. So we will also continue to monitor that as we speak. You've talked about the deputy president being very confident in the church. And also, yesterday, you saw he went to a cultural event. And unfortunately, they say the musician who was there all of a sudden decided to mute the mic or to interfere with the sound system. Why would he do that?
You might blame the musician
Yeah,
or the technician
yeah,
to have interfered with the sound system to an
mhm,
extent that Rigathi Gachagua never had a chance to speak.
yeah,
In my view,
mhm,
from the experience we have had in the country, sometimes I do attend political rallies. There were
mhm,
some rallies I do attend in the previous elections. When I'm within the region and the rally was coming to that region, sometimes I do attend those rallies. There are some circumstances whereby it is well plotted and planned by your
mhm,
opponent. They can pay a technician that whenever your time comes to speak,
yeah,
they will make sure that the sound system is interfered with. It has happened mostly in the ODM rallies. There was some
mhm,
time they were even accusing their opponent that it is Uhuru Kenyatta who has sent someone. So sometimes it is being plotted clearly by your opponent because they have seen you the way you have spoken in the church very confidently.
mhm,
Remember, Mr. President is someone who is privy to the intelligence and he
mhm,
consumes a lot of intelligence. He can be brief 411 that he is from church, now he's coming to this cultural event. What do we
yeah,
do? let him not speak there because the speech could have erupted the crowd. Sometimes these are just politics which are being plotted by the opponent. They do happen in political rallies. Maybe whatever he was going to say there could have gone viral. He could have had bonga point to whatever he said in charge. So he was not given that time to speak.
But he did have bonga points because immediately when he left with the crowd. Even though I don't know, I cannot estimate like what were the ages of the demographic that was there in the crowd. You know, demographic also matters. You know, what were the demographics? You know, that is also something that if we can know the demographics, that one can also make us have informed opinion of what is happening. But I saw there were young people.
Cultural practices do attract particularly the old people, the aged people.
Mm, yeah.
But the young people who are also on the ground at that particular area, they will be attracted to such event because they have been given information that deputy president was going to come.
Yeah.
So it can attract all ages, but particularly the older people, the people who make decisions at the ballot, are the one who are attracted with such crowd. Being a weekend, most youth could have gone to watch football. Most youth could have gone for dates. So I believe that the people who are in that crowd were aged people, not youth, but youth also who were idle, who are not having anything to do, or who are free from the long working of the weekdays, might have gone to that cultural practices. But particularly the people who are attracted were the aged, the people who make decision at the ballot.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we are not going to dwell so much on the event on the cultural day, but let's come back to the church because we know very well that after the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, he has not come out very openly to speak. He has been very selective on his choice of his words. But yesterday, he has started to open up, you know. And one of the s- things that he said yesterday, he talked about the point of departure between him and the president was the issue of Adani, because he said that he informed the president that the people do not want this Adani, and they wanted him to defend that. So the issue Adani was one of the departure. Secondly, he also said that in the cabinet, where they are sitting to formulate or to um, articulate the issues of the country and making those decisions, he said that the members of the executive, some of them did not have the courage to confront the presidency if things are wrong. That all of them, when the president comes, they will all be bowing down and looking down. But he was the only person who could confront the presidency. And even those members of the executive, especially the staffs, would call, talk to him and tell him, okay, go and advise the president on this. And these are some of the rumors that have always been coming out. But yesterday, the Rigiji himself, the truthful man, decided to come out and speak about this. What could be his main agenda for this? Knowing very well that the Adani issue was a very big issue and the cancellation came as a result of the news that we the world received from the United States, especially the New York state.
I think former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is continuing to argue his case to the public. He's presenting his case to the public. He wants to tell the public that the reasons why he was impeached, which were outlined in the National Assembly by Mutuse, and which the Senate relied on to impeach him, were all null and void. He's telling the public that there was no insubordination of the president. He's
Yeah.
telling the public that there was no mass corruption in his office. He's telling the public that there was no coup attempt to remove Mr. William Ruto from power. He is telling the public that the reasons why he was impeached were basically politics. He was impeached because he disagreed with Mr. President on the Adani deal. He was impeached because he opposed he support the rejection of the finance bill. He is trying to present his case to the public for sympathy purposes. The public will view him as someone who has been impeached on the political ground. And those political grounds were not in good faith. The issue of Adani was cancelled. He's trying to tell the people that even in our differences, I was right, he was wrong. Because if I was right, there is cancellation of Adani deal. If I was right, the finance bill was rejected. He goes ahead and said that he knows William Ruto very well. William Ruto could have not cancelled that deal if there was no indictment by the New York.
Yes.
He's simply telling the people that that is the point of departure, the political difference, not the grounds which were presented to the parliament by Mutuse and Senate rely on to impeach him.
But
The
do you?
question we
Oh,
are asking Deputy President is,
mhm.
if at all there is any references, you can refer to the public that I tweeted, I said in public, so that we can rely on those factual information. People could have treated him with so much respect. But now what I can say is looking for that sympathy card from the people of Mount Kenya, and he is already winning it.
How do you say that he's looking for that sympathy card from the people of Mount Kenya? Yet, me and you know that the issue of Adani was a big deal, and so many people question the 30 years that the airport was being handed to Adali, the process. Those are the things that people question. And maybe if you know very well that if you're a government officer, sometimes you're not allowed to tweet or to write, because that one you will be kind of like giving information out that is, and due to the fact that they were working in the same government, and his work is to advise the president, and he did advise, but now is confirming to us that in the process of advising you that the Adani deal is not right, the finance bill was not right, the demolition of the people along the river Nairobi without a place for them to be is not right. Now the payment is now because now you don't need to be here. Now we are taking you out. Do you think the public are believing this?
The public are already purchasing that card. To
Yeah.
me,
Mm.
I still defend my point.
Yeah.
There was no one who coerced him not to resign. If at all he had the interest of the people at, and even there was an oath of secrecy not to disclose the cabinet meeting to the public. Even if there was an oath of secrecy not to tell the members of public what's going on in the cabinet.
Yeah.
As a responsible deputy president, if you
Mhm.
have advised the president, which is your role, and the president is not acting on your advice, and in your view, you believe that whatever is going on is wrong, there was that option of resignation. He ought to have resigned, then come to the people and said, the reason of resignation is because there
Yeah.
is a Dani deal which I've opposed, but they have rejected. The reason of resignation is because there is finance bill which is coming, which I have said it is going to overtax the people. I've rejected. The reason for resignation is because I cannot oversee the demolition of the people along Nairobi River, and we do not know where we are going to take these people. That could sound better than waiting for him to be impeached, then he's coming to disclose the secrecy which were happening at the cabinet. That's why I said that is seeking sympathy politically, but he ought to have tell the people that there was that room for resignation. If you
Yeah.
cannot serve under William Ruto, you
Yeah.
just say, okay, with too much pressure, I can't align myself with this president. I've resigned
Mhm.
and I've come to
Mhm.
you people to tell the truth about people could have believed him, but politically people will just still believe him.
Okay. That's okay. And you say people could have believed him, but you also have to bear in mind that some of the things that he's speaking about have been spoken into the public. So what is making now the public not to believe that, okay, what he's saying is true?
Whatever what I was trying to say is that whatever he's saying is true. I'm
Yeah.
not in dispute.
Hmm.
But the point is, he's trying to tell the people that all the grounds and allegations for impeaching me
Yeah.
were null and void. None of them was true. The fact why I was impeached is because of the three which I've mentioned, not
Yeah.
because of insubordination, not because of
Yes.
trying to overthrow William Ruto, not because of corruption. He's,
Of,
he's simply presenting his case to the public.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, when we look at or to give a picture of what is happening, and now we are bringing it to the look at in terms of leadership, we will talk about that, and now we bring it to the context of Kenyan political. As you know very well, that one of the reasons that was being preached by the political class about the Rigiji was about is a tribal person. And if you're very keen on y- yesterday, he was still speaking about his the mountain, yeah, and is going towards the politics of Kenya. You know, the politics of Kenya is about tribal or about region, and it's still speaking about that, and it seems to be resonating with the people. Do you think the process of impeachment or the handlers of impeachment did not package well their messaging, and that is making even Rigathi Gachagua to have popularity in Mount Kenya?
The process of impeachment,
No, the
if it was based,
packaging. let's
the packaging of
let's talk about
impeachment,
the process and the packaging, because one of the points that they were hitting so much was about that he's very tribal.
that package
They
of tribal,
Yes, but they did not speak of other allegations that were there. These were just mentioned during the parliament and during the parliament processes and the Senate processes. That's where it was mentioned. But in the public gallery, whenever the politicians, those who are opposed to him or those who are not aligned to his ideology, were calling him a tribal person. And now, when you go to the central, they tend to embrace him.
the reason why the people of Central are embracing him,
Mhm,
even when he was accused of being a tribal leader,
mhm,
in my view, Rigathi Gachagua is being intimidated. He was being intimidated by the boss, and he was being intimidated by the members of parliament who were calling him out as a tribal leader whenever he was
mhm,
talking about the people of mountain. It
mhm,
was like they are insubordinating him. This is why
mhm.
I'm saying he was being intimidated. If Rigathi Gachagua if he could be allowed to go to Rift Valley, Luo Nyanza, or Kamba, how is he going to convince the people of Kamba? And already the people of Kamba, they have that perception that Kalonzo is their kingpin.
Yeah.
They're also talking about Kamba unity. If you go to Luo Nyanza, Luo unity, Luya unity, Kalenjin unity. How do you want Rigathi Gachagua to go outside Mount Kenya to look for new friends? It is only tribal when it comes to Mount Kenya. But when it is in Luo nation, it is not tribal. Kalenjin
Mhm.
nation is not tribal. Kamba nation is not tribal. That's why I say that it is intimidation. They're intimidating him. They want him to come out of Central Province. Remember, if you go to Rift Valley, there's no way you can go and convince the people not to follow
Mhm.
William Ruto.
Yeah.
They're following William Ruto to 100%. People of Luo Nyanza are Odinga diehards. People of Kamba Nation, they voted for Odinga because Kalonzo supported Odinga. It is only tribal when it comes to Central. That's why
Okay. We will come back to me good. If you are out there and you're watching us and there's a suggestion that you'd want to let us know, we will really, really so much appreciate so much your view. Miguda. Oh, and we're just trying to look at the issue of regarding Gachagua, how it happened yesterday. It's just a recap, picking out some pieces that were there. And if I look at the political side of Rigathi Gachagua, and based on how he was perceived as a tribal person, and it's working because that narrative is still continuing with him. Because one of the things that you have to realize in Kenya, or that one of the things that you have to know in Kenya is that for you to play in the national politics, I don't know when we will, um, maybe at some point in the generation that is coming, our politics will run away from the regionalism kind of politics. And if you see former deputy president is so much in his area and is continuing to go to church, and you're seeing this rebellion, especially coming from the people of the mountain. Hey, my brother, how are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Yeah, we were just talking. Yeah, you talked about the region, and no, I was also saying something about the tribal kind of politics. I don't know when we will departure as a country from the regionalism kind of politics, because when you see Rigathi Gachagua right now is trying to consolidate Mount Kenya. The reason why he's doing that is consolidating Kenya so that he can have a say in the national politics, even though sometimes he's not going to run, but he will be a very good influencer. And that's why he promised even in January that there's something that he will come and announce. And that basically is a political party that he will give a direction on, because like I don't think there's any place that he can give direction. It will be a political party. So I think to me, the what the deputy president is doing is trying to consolidate the Mount Kenya to rally behind him so he can have a say. Yeah. When he goes to negotiation with anybody, you know. And another thing that I also think that the deputy president and his allies are doing, they are taking advantage of the situation, because right now it is very fluid, a fluid to the president and his deputy, or the people who are aligned to the president. The ground is very hostile to them. And with that, they are taking that advantage to uproot the presence of William Ruto in in central Kenya. Because remember, when the president was campaigning, him with the president, they were campaigning in the mountain. There was this narrative or poison that was planted in the people of Mount Kenya that the former president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, was not such a good person. And you could see, even the president did not campaign in central Kenya. And the President Ruto campaigned through churches and everything. And the same thing that Rigathi is doing. So one is trying to uproot the presence of the president out of Mount Kenya based on how the situation is. That is one. Secondly, is also planting um, this person that nobody would want to listen to the president and anybody who is allied to president. Yeah. So those are the main reason why I think the deputy president now has decided to come to go one on one with the president. Makobura, how are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I am also saying hi to you and to Miguda and to everyone at the comment section.
Yeah.
Na watakia kila la heri
Eh,
na nimeshukuru sana, nimeingia, niko
eh.
area.
Na leo suti, yani wewe umepiga suti bwana.
Ni hali ya maisha. Unajua hii Kenya mali imefika, usipopiga suti hauwezi changanya watu mpaka kubaliwe kuingia mahali. Sasa saa zingine inabidi
Hata
for you
a- hata ile sura uko nayo bwana, hiyo ina shine bwana, pesa iko bwana, tununulie
usifanye watu wa Ruto wanifuate.
Okay.
Hatuna kisigai.
Okay, thank you so much, Makubura, for joining us. We are here with Migoda. We are just trying to have a recap of what happened during the weekend, especially the Rigathi Gachagua coming out and opening up about their disagreement or their point of departure with the president, and the way people who are allied to president has been having it or had it rough this weekend. And we talked about the president opening up and saying that his point of departure, the deputy, his point of departure with the president is about the being truthful. Yeah, is very truthful and courageous. He's the only person who in the cabinet would confront the president and tell him, oh, things are not working, or the trajectory that we are taking is not good. And that one made the president to initiate his process of impeachment. And Miguda, can you please, before Makubura come in, talk about the consolidation of Mount Kenya? Because this is what the deputy president, the former deputy president, is fighting for. But he has to consolidate the Mount Kenya.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has got no option but
Mm,
to consolidate Mount Kenya.
mm,
I'm supporting him fully to go ahead and consolidate Mount Kenya. Reason is, if not Mount Kenya, where do you want him to consolidate? He cannot consolidate Rift Valley or
mhm,
Kalenjin Nation. The
mhm,
Kalenjin Nation already has been consolidated behind William Ruto. The Luo Nation, the Luya Nation are consolidated behind Raila Odinga and their two leaders. The Kamba Nation are consolidated behind Kalonzo Musyoka. They are talking about the coastal region. They are being
mhm.
consolidated behind Joho and other leaders.
Yeah.
Where do you want Rigathi Gachagua to go and consolidate if not Mount Kenya? The only gap is in Mount Kenya. So he has to go to Mount Kenya and consolidate that region. The other political players want Mount Kenya to be a walkover for them,
Mhm,
but they do not want their region to be a walkover for other people. Why Mount Kenya? Why are they anger? Why are they bitter about the unity of Mount Kenya? But they do not want to interfere with the unity of their region. Rigathi
yeah.
Gachagua, as a responsible leader in that region, has got no option but to consolidate Mount Kenya. In addition to that,
Mm,
Rigathi Gachagua, next year January, he
yeah.
must bring a new political party for the people of Mount Kenya.
Mm,
Kalenjin Nation are behind UDA. Luo Nation, some section of lawyers are in ODM. The
yeah.
Bukusu people are in Ford Kenya. Kamba
Yeah.
Nation, most of them are in Wiper. Where do you want Mount Kenya people to go? Mount Kenya people must come with their political party in 20 in next year. That's why Rigathi Gachagua was saying, if next year they will speak,
Yeah.
I believe the leaders who are being applauded in the previous event in those regions are going to join that party.
True.
Anybody who is going to come with an outfit which is not the one they are going to provide for the people in the forthcoming election, that person is going to be tainted as a traitor. That's why going forward, Rigathi Gachagua has to do two things.
Mhm.
He must consolidate Mount Kenya. Number two, he must give the people of Mount Kenya a new political party for them to negotiate with other leaders. The reason is,
Mhm.
why is it that it is only tribal when Mount Kenya people are doing it? But when the other people from other region are doing it, it is not tribal. Rigathi Gachagua has declined that intimidation and is going ahead to consolidate Mount Kenya and to give them the new political party.
Okay, thank you so much. Makubura, before you come in, somebody is saying here, I think this is Judy. Miguda has to help Kevin Obura with his Kiswahili when required. Gachagua is acting like someone who's got guilty written on his face. He is probably using it as a defense mechanism. And you know what Gibson Connor is saying is true, because let me tell you, one of the tricks that maybe Makobura will weigh in on, one of the things that Rigathi Gachagua think is using, and it's kind of working. Rigathi Gachagua has made it that the impeachment, he has made it not to appear like Rigathi Gachagua impeachment. You know, he has made it to appear like a Mount Kenya was impeached. You know, so every time he talks about how he was handled, he's not talking about himself. He's talking about our people. And I've always told you that. And that was the other time I was talking to Miguda when we had a show with Miguda. I was telling that Morara should start to use the word we. The we is an inclusive statement, not I. Yeah. Because like every time you hear the deputy former deputy president is talking about we the people of Mount Kenya or our people. Wa, you know. And he has made it so, and everybody's believing it. And I don't know how the allies who are supporting the president will come up with the mechanism to encounter what is taking place. Makobura, how will they encounter the consolidation of what Rigathi Gachagua is doing? Because right now his main aim is to consolidate Mount Kenya. And how is those who are allied to the president, who right now do not have audience in Mount Kenya, going to encounter? What strategy are they going to use to diffuse the hostility that awaits them on the ground?
Okay, thank you. Seeing something here. I don't know whether my internet is not stable. You
Yeah,
let me know if you see that it's not stable, so that there's something I can do
yeah.
to make it a little bit stronger. So
All
should
right.
you see me not doing it right, you just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, so first, kabla nianze kuzungumza kwa hiyo mambo, acha kwanza nisome hii comment kutoka kwa Judith. Anasema Mikuda is ever happy whenever Ubura joins the show. He's always like, I want to be participating alone. Okay. Maybe Mikuda can answer that. He'll answer that later on. And then I've seen Gypsy Corner has given a comment that Mikuda has to help me with Kiswahili and required. Okay. They make a great. Okay, thank you. Acha sasa mi nizungumze kwa Kiswahili. Asanteni sana Judith Karita na Gypsy Corner kwa hayo uchanganuzi na yale mmeona kati yetu, na sisi tunashukuru, na hayo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Kabla nianze kutoa maoni yangu kwa jambo ambalo nimeulizwa na mwenzangu hapa Benson, nataka kusema ya kwamba Mount Kenya region has so far taken a stand, and the stand that they have taken is one that is they've realized that first, the government that they took to power in 2027 is no longer interested in them, is no longer supporting them, it's no longer giving them an ear. So what they are doing is, through the impeached deputy president, who calls himself the leader of Murima. And truth be told, Gachagua has fought for the people of Murima to an extent that he has been actually, those are among the reasons why he was impeached. So him going and convincing the people of Mount Kenya that they should have a party, I think it is going to go well with the people of Mount Kenya, being that what is currently happening is something that had never been seen in Mount Kenya. You know, Mount Kenya has been owning this country to an extent that whenever politically people are suffering, they've always been enjoying politically. But for the first time, we've seen a casualty in Mount Kenya, and not just one, but several. And this has made them to realize that things are not okay, things are not the way they've always thought things to be. And for that reason, I want to assure you that come 2027, those who are within the camp of the president, that is led by the deputy president, the nominated deputy president, the majority leader, among many other political leaders, they are not going to find it easy to do to you know to try move within the Mount Kenya regions and convince the people that they are they are doing what is right and that their intentions are well with the people. Because first they will be asked, you came here, the president came here and told us that he wanted the deputy president. We gave him the deputy president. He promised one, two, three, the things that he was going to do in his government, of which they included ensuring that the people of Mount Kenya had a good economic wise, they were supported. Road wise, they were going to get roads. And remember, most business people are coming from the Mount Kenya region, and they were promised that their businesses were going to be helped by the government. They have not seen that. They were promised that watu wa mkokoteni na watu wa mamba mboga na wale wadogo ambao wengi wao ni wa biashara na wote wanatoka Mount Kenya region hawajaona ufaidi yeyote kwa hii serikali. Hile wameona ni kufuruswa hapa na hapa. Juzi hapa Markiti hapa Nairobi uliona walikuwa wanafurusha, wanakimbizwa hapa na pale. Sasa wanashangaa ya kwamba hii serikali ambayo sisi tulipigania na tukaambiwa ya kwamba tuko na shares na huyu president, leo hii yeye anatuma watu wengine kukuja kutufurisha hapa na pale. On that, remember, the majority of people who vote are always the commoners. The rich people don't always vote, and Ruto has gotten to a point where he has destabilized his voting
So
environment in the Mount Kenya region, and it is not going to be well with him because the people have had a negativity attitude towards him, and
yeah,
that people believes that he cannot deliver and he cannot be trusted, and he doesn't really love the people of Mount Kenya. Instead, he has incorporated people from other regions, of which, according to the people of Mount Kenya, and political wise, hao watu
but
watamchapa na siasa mingi.
he maybe he do love. The only thing is that like they had a political differences with the Rigathi Gachagua, because you can see Kimani Chungwa there supporting government. We have so many of members of parliament from that region who are aligned to president, but now they are facing hostility. And how maybe if in maybe short brief statement, how can they encounter that hostility? Because it started in Embu and we saw it again in Muranga, So in Mount Kenya, is it something that is going to be a trend? But as the allies of the president are getting this hostility from the members of the mountain, especially wherever they visit, but those that are allied to the Rigathi are well received, and they are getting they are
A
being.
minute I reset this internet. Like I'm seeing sometimes you are frozen.
Me, I'm frozen.
Yeah, on my side, I think it's my network. Let me just reset it kindly.
Okay, reset it and come back. Thank you so much. As Marco Bura is resetting, let me engage my friend Miguda. Miguda, one of the issue again that the president is riding on, and the president is the deputy president. Marco Bura, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, let me before I bring in Miguda on the other issue is about how are they going to encounter this hostility, especially because those who are allied to president should be the ambassadors of the president in the mountain. What
Yeah.
strategy will the president now find to penetrate?
I think so far the only thing that the president and his team can do is to actualize the promises that they gave the people of Mount Kenya, of which majority of these promises are impossible. So what is going to happen here is, truth be told, it is not going to be easy for them, and they're not going to convince the people unless the style of leadership and also among the issues that they had promised the people, only if they satisfy the people's interest, only if they ensure that they have partly considered the most important things that the people of Mount Kenya need, that is when they can try to penetrate. But as things stand by, and with what we are seeing in the country, it is going to be hard because there is no finance currently.
mm,
And the problem that this government made is they overpromised the people of Mount Kenya, and truth
yeah,
be told, they can't, hawawezi wakafanya hayo yote ambayo waliambia watu,
mm,
na that is what the side of the impeached deputy president, they're going to bank on all those promises which were made by the president, and the clips are there,
mm,
and they're going to say that the president told us to do this, he did not do it. And remember, Gashago's character is similar to the president's character,
mm,
and he's going to do it better. He's going to say that, you know what, we came into government and these were the plans that we had. We agreed with the president that we are going to do this, but since they
mm,
got me out of it,
yeah,
and then they brought someone else who is also coming from Mount Kenya, who has ensured not even remind the president to actualize all the promises he made in Mount Kenya.
yeah,
You know, those are kind of things which are going to happen there. And I'm telling you, the people are going to get convinced that truly this government has done nothing. And I want to remind you of something. You know, these people are going to incorporate the politics, I mean, all those things that the former president did, and they will tell them that, you know what, this was our son, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, when he was here. He
mm,
made the roads. Currently, it is true that Mount Kenya region has the best roads in more than any other part of this country.
mhm,
Na atawaambia ya kwamba unaona, hata mtoto wetu hapa alitutengenezea barabara, tunaona alijenga reli, tunaona
unaona?
alijenga
Mm,
sijui nini, tunaona. What has this government done to the people of Kenya that the people of Kenya can say that this is what they have achieved, this is what they've done? And
mm,
especially in the Mount Kenya region, there's nothing single that you can single out and say that this government went and fought for these people. If it is a matter of, for example, increasing the cost of tea and whatever,
mm,
it is something that has not worked.
okay,
So my point is, those in the government side, led by the deputy president and the majority leader,
mm,
the people will tell them that you are in this government, but you benefited yourself. There's nothing that has been replicated on the ground, and
okay,
that is the, I mean, that is the gospel that is being preached currently, and it is getting into the minds of the people, and that
yeah.
is going to erode everything on the ground.
Yeah, Gibson Connor is saying it is not doing well. The inflation is bad. The reason why Ruto says that the economy is doing well is because he's borrowing a lot of, and he has negotiated for loan to be paid far as a far future. That is true. And Ayaga is saying there's a deep political intrigue between Gachagua and Ruto that many people don't see. Kuna venye KK is dealing with ODM of opposition so smartly than we think. We shall see bill in what in NA.
In
But
National Assembly,
national. Okay, okay. Concerning what Ayaga, what kind of bill? So
I think he is trying to talk about the finance bill that is soon coming, that is already in the minds of the people and in the
yeah.
mouths of the people who are saying that they are not going to board on, they're not going to.
But yeah, but Ayaga can testify. I think you saw how the expert was talking. We have to also respect the experts. The way he was talking when he was in the burial of Oloaringo, I think so, if I'm not wrong. He spoke about something about, and he was going political, attacking the former president in a way, how when he left the office, how, you know, we will talk about ODM. We have so many content about ODM that we can. So, Miguda, let me also engage you on one of the issues that the deputy president might also be using to pin down the ex-deputy president, to pin down the president, the issue of promises that are not being fulfilled, you know. And he has come out as a truthful man and is having that brand. He's telling, is coming up with that brand of being truthful. And if you are a student of business, there's or business or any other, there's something we call SWOT analysis. You know, you look at the weakness of your opponent and capitalize on it. This issue of lying or not telling truth that people have accused the president of, and he's coming out as somebody who is very truthful and is going to speak to Mount Kenya to be a truthful man. I'm telling you the truth. How will also the people who are allied to president can diffuse that and make sure that everything that president is saying is true, and they convince the people?
First, before I respond to the question, let me
Yeah.
respond to Judy. Kevin asked me to respond to the issue raised by Judith. I'll just like to tell Judith that whenever Kevin comes into the studio, I'm happy because the way he was donning the suit and the necktie. For the information, there are many things that started with Kevin, by the way. You know, Kevin or Makobura, there are many things. Like when it comes to fashion, he believes in me. Even after purchasing the clothes, he must come to me and ask me, can you verify? Even before going to purchase clothes, he must verify with me. And also when it comes to academics, he believes in me. And I always refer to him as my student. And we are in that mutual respect. I also believe in him in some things. Actually, he taught me how to cook. And currently I'm perfect. I never knew to cook even after campus. Other than cooking, Makobura is also a good manager, by the way, for those who do not know. Even for our viewers, if you are looking for a manager, this is the right person to manage anything for you. And that's why he was even referred to where he's working currently. And what I can attest, he's a good man. Because we started our friendship long time ago when we were in class 3 to date. So he's a good man, and that's why even they come along with Brother Benson. They share something common with Benson. Makobura knows that I'm saying the truth, and that is it. Judith, that is why we are always this together. And for those people looking for a manager, this is the right person. Is ever good manager in everything. To come to the discussion, that was just by the way.
Brother Ben, did you hear that? And Gypsy Connor, did you hear that? Anyway, proceed. Thanks.
Yeah, that is true. In fact, even when we begin this our channel, he told Brother Benson, I have a guy by name Miguda. We can engage him. So someone who can call your name outside your presence, that he believes in me. What I wanted to say is that regarding Gachagua, as to persuade the people of Mount Kenya and must present his case to the people of Mount Kenya that indeed I'm a truthful man and he must defend that. How to defend it is by simply trying to refer to what they did to the Mount Kenya, the promises they made to the people of Mount Kenya with Ruto. He was very categoric that we promise you people that it will be bottom up. So he's tarnishing that bottom up, that there's nothing like bottom up. That was just a story by William Ruto. We promise you people that before moving people from Nairobi River, we'll tell you where to go. There is no one who has been told where to go. There's no compensation to the people who have been removed. He has aligned himself to oppose the very manifesto he supported. The way he brought the William Ruto to Mount Kenya and walk around with him, he must use a different tactic to make sure that whatever they did with William Ruto was null and void. That's why he went ahead and said that now we know your true colors. Even if you are going to have a future MOU with you, we must do it formally. We are not going to trust you blindly the way we did in the previous formation. He had no option. That's why I told you that Rigathi Gachagua has got no option. This one is beyond him. He must consolidate Mount Kenya. Even if it's going to cost his life, He has no option. He has presented himself to the people of Kenya as a politician. And as a politician, things like death, those are normal things. Things like being arrested, assassination, deportation, those are normal in politics. So he has no option but to consolidate Mount Kenya, and also to make sure that William Ruto is chased away of Mount Kenya as soon as tomorrow. For him to sort it out, William Ruto, he has no option but to make the people of Mount Kenya to be united behind one political party. And that's why you have seen the leaders who usually listen to the ground, people like Joe Nyotu, people like Irun Kangata, they have refused to board. They have refused to associate themselves with the speech of Deputy President Kithure Kindiki. They have refused to associate themselves with the current policies of William Ruto. Because with them, politics is about interest. Why should I lose my seat for the second time, like the seat of governor? Why should I lose my second term to support William Ruto? I rather align myself with the ground and the people of Mount Kenya. And Rigathi Gachagua has taken all the blame of an individual. You know, William Ruto did it thinking that he's punishing Rigathi Gachagua. William Ruto did it thinking that he's dealing with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua transfer that blame to the community, that he has not done this thing to me. He has done it to the people of Mount Kenya. This guy whom we put to this seat has disrespected us to an extent of not valuing our numbers. He's not even valuing our worth. So he has taken it as a community problem. And that's a very good tactic as a politician, and that's a very good move for Rigathi Gachagua. That's why we said he has no option, but let him consolidate Mount Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much. And Gibson Corner. So this is what happened. You know, sometimes before we come to the show, like before we come to the cameras, like right now, we usually have we call a the pre-show. Yeah. So we just want to confirm to you, we are very happy people. You know, even sometimes when we come to camera, you know, if Miguda is talking like that, you know. He's saying the truth. Makobura is a good manager, by the way. He manages as well. So, so you can, Gibson, you can, if you have, you need some managerial, you can hire him. You know, he manages as well. Anyway, thank you so much, and thank you so much, so much, Makobura. And now, when you look at the deputy president, I'm still coming to you, Makobura, because Migudas talked about on how to encounter that the truthful man versus what the president is deemed to be, like some of his promises are not actualizing before the people. And he ended up even quoting the Bible for the president. And this was John chapter 8, verse 31. He's talking about, is it, say the truth and the truth shall set you free, you know. And now, what picture does it give? What picture does it give the president? Does it mean that he's confirming or is saying that the president, because he came out, he was stepping at the president to yesterday when he was talking, and you know, yeah. So does it mean that there's some of the truthful that the president should say so that he can be free, or he's saying that the president, there's some things that president is not saying that is not making him free?
Okay. Something that the president and the impeached deputy president share in common. And I was forgetting to reply to what you had said. Naweza sema ya kwamba hiyo tunafaa kuzungumza kwa Kiswahili kwa sababu I'm also grateful that nyinyi wote, the two of you, mumekuwa good. You've been good people, acting good, doing everything good, and that is nice. And I really enjoy being karibu na nyinyi. Nyinyi ni watu wazuri, na pia hiyo pia iende kwa wanasemanga iende kwa wapi. Let that be noted with a lot of emphasis and hayo yote. Yeah. So the question that you've asked me,
Yep.
You know, the president and the impeached deputy president, they share one thing in common, that their spouses are their spouses are their spouses are pastors
Mhm.
or spiritual. How do I call them? They have spouses who are spiritually strong besides them, and that's a good thing. So one thing that I've never understood is, personally, from my thinking and what I believe,
Yeah.
if people are truly praying to this God, the one that I know, they are really submissive to that God. There are times hata kama ukuwa umeenda umekosa aje, you
Eh,
should always come back to your knees and try analyze everything that happened.
mhm,
And even if you feel ashamed of going to ask for forgiveness,
mhm,
at least you should show that you're remorseful and that
mm,
whatever happened you're not happy with, so that
mm.
the other person can find it at ease.
Yeah.
So that is my take on that. So what has really happened between the two gentlemen is that, I believed at some point before this issue of impeachment came out, I believe that they were going to sort the differences that they had,
Yeah.
because you know when they were coming in and the way they used to call the name of God,
Yeah.
you know they made us believe that this was going to be the best. And to anyone who is spiritually upright,
Mm,
I'm quite sure that either their faith
mm,
ilikuwa imejazwa kidogo, kwa sababu the power and the courage that the two gentlemen used to speak, they were using a commanding voice, that voice that gives you hope. And we believe that truly, with the belief that we have in Christianity, this is going to be a good set. Unfortunately, it has not worked that way.
mhm,
That has partly clarified that truly these people were up to something. They were up to getting into power. They did not know, they did not care, I mean, which style they were going to get to power. And so it's so bad or wrong that they use the name of God to go to power. And things have now gotten asunder. So the strategy
mm.
that the president might use to get into the Mount Kenya currently, it is going to be tough. I'm not seeing any easy way, because if things were to be good, then
Mhm.
appointing the deputy president at least would have made things softer or easier for the president to penetrate. Because if you remember, before, I've always said this, before the nomination of the deputy president, the
Yeah.
people wanted Professor. But it seems that as much as Gachagua was not loved by the people, when he got to power, there are characters that he showed to the people that made him uh, to be known, and that gave him a good chance to showcase himself and his leadership skills. So what happened is, he took the chance and got to the people and reminded the people that yes, we're in a government.
Mhm.
And actually, it's Gachagua who has shown us that truly people can get into deals, and along the way deals
Can
can
backfire.
backfire. And the reason why sometimes deals backfire is first because the interest. We've realized that the interest of two gentlemen were different. Either way,
Mhm.
they were the only thing that united them was getting into power. And that is a question that you've always asked, is that what always bring people together when they're going for these leadership positions? What we are seeing in the case of Gachagua and Ruto is they all wanted to get to power. After getting to power, the other things did not really combine them together. The
Mhm.
other things were by going the other way. And so it was not possible for them to be in one house.
Okay.
And for that reason, the differences came. So my point is, Ruto still has a way. He can still manage, but I'll keep to my stance that only if he deliver. If he doesn't deliver,
Mhm,
with what we are seeing, it is
mhm,
not going to be easy, because if you saw what was happening even in Muranga, when the speech of the deputy president, the people refused that it was not supposed to be read. That shows you the deputy president comes from Mount Kenya. You know, they were not really happy with the deputy president. They have not welcomed him since his inauguration to office.
mhm.
I think that clarifies that the people have really rejected, and the people are no longer interested in what is happening in the government. But what they're saying is the government has not listened to them, that the
Mhm.
government does not have a good approach on dealing with issues which are affecting the people.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'll engage Miguda again on another issue here. You've spoken about the spouses of the two, the deputy president and the first lady and the second lady. Like the people who are very, very strong in terms of faith and the spirituality. They believe in that Christianity and they believe in the powers of the prayer. And one of the greatest things is about the forgiveness. And I'm not very well versed with the Bible, but there's a place where I say that if you don't forgive those who trespassed against us, then our Father in heaven is not going to forgive you. I think it's in the book of Matthew, if I'm not wrong. I don't know the exact verse. So to my interpretation is that the forgiveness that comes is even if you are a Christian or even if you are saved and you're serving God, one of the qualification for your Father in heaven to forgive you for the wrong things that you've done, is for you to forgive those who have wronged you. Then then you will inherit the kingdom of God. So which means if you don't forgive and you ask the forgiveness from God, it means that the God is not going to forgive you, because it's a two-way traffic. For you to be forgiven, you have to forgive those who have wronged you. Yeah. So that's how I might understand it, though I'm not so much. I'm not well versed like Miguda, and you, Miguda is well versed kwa sababu wewe ni mtu wa Adventisti, ama mnasema aje Miguda? Na wewe ni mtu wa Catholic. Sana sana unajua hawa wakina Miguda hawa, kuna mahali tunapishana kimawazo. Kwa sababu kuna vitu vingi wanaangalia ambapo inapata kwamba hata tukiongea na yeye inakuwa ni vigumu sana mimi kumkubali kulingana na zile mila na desturi ya kanisa yao, lakini bado tunaomba Mungu. Unajua Marco Bura, pia wewe kuna mahali ambapo pia sikubaliani na wewe, lakini tunaamini Mungu anatulinda. Mimi pia najua kuna mahali hamkubaliani na mimi na tuko sawa. So, bringing about that aspect of Christianity, and for a fact that
Let me just say this about religion. Religion,
yeah,
what is really making us have different opinion is really the churches that has come. But I think the whole goal,
mhm,
we are all focused to one place,
mhm,
that is, you know, we are all striving to be with God at
true,
His place.
yeah,
And so that is what Christianity teaches. But the approach or the way
mhm,
as taught by churches is a little bit different. Some are saying that let's follow this route, some are saying let's follow this route, but I think the destination is same. So it is acceptable that we might have different opinions, because it also depends with someone's belief. Things to do with religion is it's something that it's
it's
tough to
very wide
categorize.
spectrum.
Yeah.
So yeah, before you came in to explain about the religion and our perspective, I was just looking at the same religion or the same church. This is where the president actually got an inroad in central Kenya, not everywhere, because president has always been this person who is a Christian, strong Christian, and he would not miss church. actually in the history of Kenya, the president we have currently is the only president who has attended churches, more churches than any other presidency in our country. Yeah, because majority of the earlier presidents, it was not very easy you to spot them. Like today, they went. Sometimes you could not see them in public for quite some time, and they pop up. But presidents had visited churches so many times. Any church he
But
has visited,
what
and
what what positive have we got? What positive thing have we gotten as a people?
no,
This
no,
this
that
this
that
should not become.
that spiritual. No, that is his spiritual being between him and God. It's not about you getting something about president going to church. That is him and his family.
Not really us getting something from him I mean from him going to church,
Yeah.
but this should be translated. There is the president, and what that means is that he's trying to, like, when we were doing CRE, we were being taught that we should respect other religions and we should
Mhm.
not criticize.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, because if we were supposed not respecting and even consistently criticizing other churches or religion,
Yeah.
then possibly we would not be where we are, because there would be those consistent fights. So I agree with you. President has done what we call embraced religion and people coming from different denominations,
Yeah.
and that's a good sign. But again, just within Christianity, he would have used that opportunity to try bring the people of Kenya together. The same way is gone to different churches, he should be preaching preach to an extent that the issues to do with the tribalism,
Mhm.
him, starting and being the first to actualize, he would have, we are Christians, and is some point we were saying that is a brother of, but of which that those are not true. But if we've gotten to a point where watu wanaanza kukulinganisha na mtu ambaye alikuwa mtu mzuri, then we should always act in a way that reflects the people that we are taking over from, or the people that we are being tunafananishwa nayo, just the same way in our culture, the Luo that you are
Mhm.
part of.
Mhm.
If you remember when they were doing naming in those
Mhm.
days, they would
Mhm.
watakuwa nakupea jina ya mtu ambaye alikuwa anafanya kitu fulani ambacho watu walikuwa wanapenda katika kijiji, na unapokuwa una grow, usipoonyesha hayo tabia ambayo ya yule ambaye ulipewa jina lake,
Eh.
then the pressure comes from the people, you get.
Mhm.
And this is what we should replicate again to Ruto. He's a Christian. He has taught us being what Christianity means, and that's a good thing. Let him now reflect the face of Christianity, the unity
Okay.
bit, the love.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then that would be okay.
Okay, Miguda, sorry kwa kukuweka bali mimi najua ndatoka nikuache studio na Marco Bura. Ukisema hapo kupatiana majina kulingana na mila na desturi za Kiafrika, sana sana ikikula katika jamii ya Wajaluo. Unajua kama ulikuwa unapatiwa jina, hauwezi tu patiwa tu jina tu. Lazima waangalie nyakati na muda ambao unapatiwa jina na kuzaliwa kwako umezaliwa vipi. Unapata kwamba wengine walikuwa wanapatiwa majina ya wale ambao walibobea ama wale ambao walikuwa na msingi sana sana katika jamii kulingana na dalili ambao wameonesha. Nilikuambia juzi hapa tukiongea, enda usome kitabu cha The River and the Source. Ulikuwa unaweza patiwa jina, lakini upate mtoto analia ama mtoto ni mtu ambaye anagonjeka. Kwa hata kama miezi 2 mtoto bado anagonjeka, utapata wale wakongwe watakuwa wanakuja wanaita wale majina wakisema wanaita hizo majina wakati wanaongea wale ambao walikufa, nyanyangu, ulikuwa nyanya mzuri, kakangu, ulikuwa mpaka wataona kwamba umepona basi. Saa zingine pia kuzaliwa, ulikuwa unazaliwa wakati wa kuvuna na wakati wa kupanda, wakati wa usiku, mchana na vile vile hivyo hivyo. Wacha sasa tukuje katika mada ya leo ya mambo ya kanisa, ambao sasa tunaona kwamba hawa wawili deputy pia wanatumia, kwa sababu kanisa ndio wanaenda wanasema haya maneno. Unapata kwamba ni nadra sana upate kwamba wameita mkutano mkubwa wakuja waseme haya maneno. Watakuja kuomba kwa hizi makanisa, waende kila Sunday na watoe mchango yao, lakini saa zile wanatoa mchango, hapo ndio inakuwa mahali ambao mjadala inaletwa kusema ubaya wa huyu na uzuri wa huyu inasimuliwa. Na sasa swali ni je, kwa sababu aliyekuwa rais, makamu wa rais ambao aling'atuliwa anatumia kanisa jinsi walitumia wakati ule, na pia kiongozi ambayo ni rais wa sasa pia najua, na wale ambao wanamuunga mkono watatumia hiyo njia sawa. Watu wa kanisa ama waumini wataamini nani katikati ya hawa watu? Kwa sababu nia yao si kuenda kwa kanisa kuhubiri, ama nia wao kwenda kanisa, nia yao kwanza ni kupata wafuasi, kwa sababu wamebadilisha mfumo wa siasa. Ni kwamba siasa imetoka katika msichanyiko ambao walikuwa wanaita, wakaenda pahali makanisa wapo, ama pahali ambao watu wanaomba, ambao unapata watu ambao wengi wao ambao wanaenda kanisa ni wale ambao wajabarikiwa sana kifedha. Maisha yao ambao wanaishi, wengine wanaishi maisha ya kichochole. Miguda, we maoni yako ni vipi?
Maoni yangu ningependa yambatane na Biblia, ningetumia lugha ya Kimombo. When Jesus was talking about or teaching about forgiveness, he said clearly that you should forgive your friend not only 7 times but even 70 times. So forgiveness is paramount if you're a human being. He goes further and taught about love. He said that out of all these commandments my Father gave you, there is one important that I must reiterate, is love. Because the first 4 commandments, relationship between God and man, and the last 6, relationship between man and man. He said that love your Father or God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. But love your neighbor as you love yourself. So whenever we talk about forgiveness, it was demonstrated by the soul creator. Remember, even during the time when before Lucifer was sent away from heaven, there was controversy. There was controversy between Lucifer and the Most High. And Lucifer stated that he will build his temple above the stars of the Most High. The Most High gave Lucifer time to repent for the transgression. Lucifer was mobilizing angels. Then suddenly he was sent away from heaven and he came to earth. On earth there was Adam and Eve. Even before the condemnation of Adam and Eve, there was that right to be heard. They were given opportunity to explain themselves of the sins. If you read all through the story of salvation, even if they were sent away from the Garden of Eden, there was still a plot by God himself to save human beings through Jesus Christ. It is only when Jesus Christ was glorified during the time of Christ, that is when Satan was condemned. So there was that room for forgiveness. As our fellow human beings or as our fellow countrymen, that room for forgiveness is open to everyone. The reason why we are bringing this issue of religion into this discussion, because the two people, both of them, their spouses, have stated that some are pastors, some are next to deputy Christ, and they have been going to church together. So if they cannot demonstrate Christian teachings by Jesus himself, they cannot demonstrate Christian teachings by God himself, then why are they Christians? Why are they demonstrating Christians? Is it now they are using Christians for their political mileage? According to me, that could be the reason. These guys are using Christian for their political mileage. Marco Burai was not preaching, it was just a brief summary. Back to you.
I thought you were taking over from uh, the president and the deputy. Anyway, that was a nice thing. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner anasema be blessed guys, small Christmas soda. Brother Vincent Media just popped in on a transit. Have some emergency. We'll be back in 2025. God will take care all. Gypsy Corner, wherever you're going, we wish you all the best and we hope to see you soon. Just as our sister Judith has said at the comment section, we really appreciate you for your financial support. We are very, very much grateful. Na tunakushukuru sana. I don't know where you're going, but we pray that may God protect you and may God be with you. And thank you so much for consistency and supporting us in 2024. I also want to take opportunity to say thank you to Judith Karwitha, who has been consistent. Tunamuita the leader of Gen Z. Judith Karwitha, wherever you are, asante sana. You are such a good, nice friend to this channel. We don't take it for granted. Eric Kayaga as well, asante sana Eric. At times you do find time to come and join us, the panel. We don't take it for granted. Tunasema ni asante sana sana. Brenda Obedi pia, we are also taking this opportunity to say thank you so much Brenda Obedi. Brenda, unajua Brenda na Gypsy Corner na Judith, wao ndo wanakonga wa kwanza wakisema I'm watching, I've joined, locked in, and that's a good thing. We really don't take it for granted, Brenda. Thank you so much for your support. Everyone that we've not mentioned, wako wengi. I can't mention all of them by name, but we are very much grateful as a channel. You've supported us. I know there are those of you at the viewing side, they've never commented, they've never said anything at the comment section, but they're always there. We know you. Wherever you are, feel blessed. Thank you so much. We don't take it for granted, and we request you to continue supporting us by joining and commenting and viewing. It is a nice thing, and we really appreciate. Mr. Miguda, maybe think we're almost finishing. I'll also give you a chance to say to give your remarks, because naona tukifunga in the next few minutes. Mention, say, and give votes of thanks to our viewers and consistent supporters. Mr. Miguda, are you there? I think he's having a network problem. But either way, for those of you who joined, this is Brother Benson Media. And here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, we are requesting you to kindly like and subscribe to this channel, and we will really appreciate if you subscribe. It is a way of supporting us as a channel, and we will really appreciate. If you have something that you want to discuss, you can always just give a comment at the comment section, and we'll look for you and give you a chance. Either you are in politics, either you are in comedy, you are an artist, in whatever field you are in, and you want to just come and discuss and give us your view, we will appreciate. We'll give you a chance to give your view, whether it's a matter of your business, starting businesses, anything you'd want to share with us. We are always here, because this channel, the main thing that we do is we're trying to give a platform to young people so that they may, whatever they're doing can be known by others. If it is music, we tell other people that, this gentleman here is having some music, and this is the journey that is gone through. And that is what we do. In politics, we are just trying to do a reminder to our people, those within and those who are not around, to let them know of what we are doing and how the country is moving. Mr. Miguda, maybe your vote of thanks to our viewers before we close.
Before we close, I would like first to give thanks to our esteemed viewers, those people who have been consistent. There are people who have been consistent, but they have not been commenting. So we have not mentioned because we haven't seen your name. But the ones we have had, people like Brenda Obedi, people like Judith Karvita, our good friend and our age group, people like Jeb Sokona. He has been a good friend of the channel and he has been supporting us financially and also viewership. We do not take it for granted. We are very grateful, Brother Jeb Sokona. Good year. We expect to see you next year. The last year we were with you here, December. Next year we expect to see you. On behalf of channel, I just wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and hopefully next year we will be bigger than where you left us. That's a promise. In terms of subscription, we will hit above where we are. In terms of viewership, we hit because we are also struggling. And wish you all the best in your endeavors. May God bless you. To Ayaga, thank you so much. You have been also one of the panelists. You have been joining, and also you have been adding some opinion which we do not have because we can't know everything. To Marco Bura, Brother Benson, also I wish you all good health. And let us just continue supporting the channel. The channel is growing, and we promise you that it will be bigger than what you people imagine. Guys, just do the necessary. If you get an opportunity, you can watch, you can subscribe to the channel, you can like and give us thumbs up. You can also watch the ad videos. There's some ad videos before you begin watching. You can just have your time, check on them. They are very impactful for this channel, not for us. And may God bless you, all of you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You can see Eric is saying, blessed moment, Gypsy Corner. Eric, thank you so much. I am now taking this opportunity to wish everyone a blessed night, a blessed evening, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are. Feel blessed and loved. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.